Welcome to another episode of Bible Verse Breakdown. And today we're going to be breaking down Romans chapter 12, verse 3. And it reads, For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly according as God has dealt to every man the measure of faith. I'm going to break it down biblically, and then I'll spin it to how they talk about this scripture today, which is still going to be correct. Paul said, for as I say, through the grace given unto me. That means that Paul had the blessing from the Most High to go preach the word to the Gentiles. And you can find that in Galatians, the 2nd chapter. And it reads, to every man that is among you. So Paul is preaching to everybody that's among him. Remember, Paul was sent to the Gentiles. So when you read the book of Romans, you have to understand who he was teaching to. He was teaching to the Gentiles, and Peter was sent to the Israelite, which is our forefathers. It said not to think of yourself more highly than he ought to think. So Paul is saying, since I'm giving y'all the truth, y'all can't run around here and think that y'all better than the other man because y'all got more knowledge than the other person. It don't work like that. Let me read. It say, accordingly as God has dealt to every man the measure of faith. So that means that people take their time to you can't get this truth all in one setting. It come with time. That's why it said with the measures of faith. Sometimes you got to work with people and give it to them a little at a time. You can't get them meat without the bread, like the scriptures say. So I'll spin into how I can break this scripture down today. You got a lot of people that claim that they know the Bible, but then when you go into detail about the scriptures and then you try to edify, then they get upset. And that's where emotions come in at when you reading the Bible. I'm not trying to say that I'm high-minded or whatever the case, but if you have somebody that they read the Bible every day and they understand what's going on in the world and stuff like that, and then you have other people that say that they read the Bible, but then when you inbox them or you text them or you have a conversation about it, they try to act like they all high-minded and stuff, but then as soon as you start bringing out new information that they never heard of, then that's when they start getting upset and start saying that, oh, you think you know too much or whatever the case. And see, that's where we as Israelites, we can't be like that. We can't be fighting amongst each other when it comes to who got the knowledge. Because you have some people that's educated in this world, and you got some people that's educated in the Bible. This is my profession right here, the Bible. I can break the Bible down 100%. So it's not me just being high-minded. I just want to teach my people, so therefore they won't be lost. Because when you start getting real detailed about the Bible, and people that's in the churches, they're not used to the truth. They're not used to hearing that we're Israelites and stuff like that. So when you start breaking down these scriptures on a scholarly level, they feel like they get an attack. And I had this conversation with one girl yesterday, and I told her, I said, our people get very upset and emotional because when you bring the Bible out, the first thing that they say is, well, the Bible been tampered with, that's a white man book and all that stuff like that. I said, we as people that's in the scriptures, we cannot get upset at these people who think like that. I said we have to be able to condescend to their level and break it down so they can have an understanding. When you go deep down in the scriptures and you understand that our people been dejected, been lost, the white man been lying on the book, they didn't taught the scriptures to the black man, the pastors, and now they lying to us. So you have to understand that this generation of the Bible being lied on is a generational curse that came to us. So of course we not going to want to see that Bible. Why? Because every time we see that Bible, it relates to the white man. So the government trick worked. So what they did was they used the Bible falsely on purpose So therefore, when we go in the Bible to try to look for our black history, we can't relate that book to ourselves. So that's why we have to understand that when we see our people getting upset and getting mad and stuff like that and questioning us, that's not them getting mad at us. That's them letting out emotions on how they feel about the book. So you have to be able to condescend to them. I'll give you a prime example. It won't be too long. If I have a brother that come to me and say, well, I think the Bible been tampered with, they changed a lot of words and stuff like that. We as Christians or people that's claim that they in the Bible supposed to be able to go into the Bible and show these people exactly what's been tampered with. Okay, we good. So we can't get mad at these people. We got to help our brothers and sisters because we have more knowledge of the scriptures. So that means that we should be long suffering to hear what they have to say. Sometimes it just be venting and sometimes it just be frustration on their end because we all grew up in the Baptist church and we all were forced to go to church. So when we get old enough and then when we step out of the book and then when somebody try to bring that book back to you, you don't want to see it. Why? Because you're not really learning nothing in the church. So that's the reason why if I have anybody that's confused about the Bible or somebody that want to talk to me about the Bible, I'm all ears because I want to help our people out. If our people get frustrated talking about the Bible, if they think the Bible been tampered with, we should be able to go into the scriptures, break it down, and tell them how we came over here on cargo slave ships, what happened when we broke the commandments in the Old Testament. How did we get over here? We supposed to be able to break these questions down and talk to these people and let our people know that this book is not tampered with. They tamper with our mind. Once they tamper with our mind, when you see that Bible, you can't even relate to what's going on. Why? Because the white man, I don't want to say the white man, the dark forces that be and the powers that be, when they took over this land, they purposely falsely taught the book wrong. So I'm not trying to say that I'm high-minded or whatever the case. I just want to lead my people to the truth. And if you hear it and you want to go back and you want to read the scriptures or whatever the case, then that's fine. That's what you do. But I'm just saying for my Christians out there, for my so-called Christians that's supposed to be in the church, y'all cannot get mad when people get mad and start questioning y'all about the Bible. And then when you can't answer the question, then you start getting mad and start getting emotional. We supposed to be able to love our brothers, love our sisters, and any question that they got coming out of the Bible or pertaining to the Bible, we supposed to be able to answer it. We're not supposed to get mad and say, well, you don't want to hear the truth. You have to understand that our people been beat down for years. Our people been already struggling to pay bills and stuff like that. So then when they look at that book, when they see the Bible, they not looking at this book as a inspirational book. They looking at this book of hate. So we as people that claim to know the Bible supposed to be able to get our people back into this Bible. And shout out to I'm gonna say this live on camera. Shout out to Zay for sending people my way because I understand how it is. Cause the homeboy told me, he said straight out. He said, man, they been lying on the book. He said, man, I don't believe nothing in the book. But he said, man, I'm ready to hear some truth or whatever the case. And that's what we need right there. We need people that's going to be willing to sit down and listen to us talk. So therefore, they can have an understanding of what they want to believe in. So then that way, like I give a prime example. If an atheist say, man, I don't believe in the Bible because of this or because of that. I'll give you a prime example. This is why atheists walk away from the Bible. And Christ said in the book of Matthew, you have to be fishermen of men. That means that you have to be able to catch people in the Bible different ways. Don't nobody want to hear no Jesus love you or come back to God, stop sinning. We all know what's right and wrong. We ain't trying to hear that right now. We need to be able to We need to be able to break down scriptures about what's going to happen to America. Iran going to shoot nukes over here. Stuff like that. That's prophecy, like the mark of the beast. People don't understand about the mark of the beast, that when you see, like, when you go like in a gas station, for example, I had one guy that asked me, he said, I saw some on your post, man, that were very important. And I replied to him, I said, out of 600 some people, you was the only one that inboxed me about that. I said, that was the Most High that led you to that. He said, man, I saw you texting about the mark of the beast. What's that about? Because I keep hearing about it. And I had told him, I said, pretty much what the government going to do, they going to take all the cash out the system where you're going to be able to get that plant in the inside of your arm, and if you don't take it, you won't be able to buy or spend. And he said, how you know that they've been doing that? I said, when you go in the gas station, what the first thing you see before you check out? Shortage of coins. So they trying to take the coin system out of the system first. Once they take the coin system out of the system, then they're going to take the dollar system away. Once they take the dollar system away, then it's going to be all debit cards and all credit cards, Cash App, PayPal. That's it. You ain't going to be able to break cash no more. So these are signs that lead into the mark of the beast. And I had to just use that for an example because people come through the Bible different ways. We can't use that same old Jesus love you. But I just wanted just to break down just that Romans 12 verse 3 and be not high-minded, because we got people out here that really know the Bible, but the Christians, the so-called Christians, y'all cannot get mad and get emotional when people get the hooping and hollering and cussing about the Bible. Y'all got to be able to talk to them and bring them back into the Bible. Since we know better, we ought to be able to show them to the Bible. Once we understand what the scriptures are talking about, then we can lead them to the Bible. Then that way they can lead other people to the Bible, because this is our only salvation. That's it. Appreciate y'all.